From Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah. Hello. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm good.
Everybody hear us? We are, in two different places, you guys can tell. So Sarah's at the dealership there. Nice background, by the way. And then, of course, I'm here at Bronco Super Celebration in Buena Vista, Colorado, having a blast. Traveled up yesterday and hit the trails today. So we're going to talk a little bit. We got, as you can tell behind us, we got one of the Rebelle Rally, actually the winning Bronco Sport behind us. Last how many years? 3 years. We're going to have some special guests on here in just a little bit and kind of go over that. And so it'll be a little bit different tonight. I'm looking at the wrong camera. It's going to be a little different tonight because we're not going to talk about scheduling news and dealer news updates and everything else like that. We're gonna dive in and interview some people that are here. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll be different, but it'll be fun. So how was your weekend?
Busy.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, there's some people here that want to say something to you. Okay. Everybody, you didn't know this. Today is Sarah's birthday. Ready? Happy birthday!
Thank you.
So Sarah's birthday, I'm sure she's like 25 or something like that. The younger you are, the younger I am, right? Being your dad. All right. So, but anyway, so this weekend we did celebrate your birthday on Memorial Day, and so that was fun getting the family together. So that was a blast. But yeah, other than that, I had to do things, get things wrapped around so I could come here. But and you did take yesterday off, so that was good. Got a day off with the kiddos, right? So. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into now. Don't forget, you want to go through the normal stuff of the channel and everything. Don't forget to subscribe, notification bell turned on, everything like that. Do you want to tell them about membership? How to become a member?
Yeah.
Here, let me click the slide. Go ahead.
I was like, I can control that. If you'd like to become a member, it's right there by that join or that subscribe button. If you're an Apple user, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your web browser.
Hold on.
You have to go to your web browser, click the big A and little a, and request desktop website. At that point, you should be able to see it.
There you go. All right. So, yeah, you can become a member if you want. And a lot of fun membership content. We do a lot walk every Saturday. We do a member live stream as well. We get a lot of ideas for the Tuesday night live streams from your guys' input on that. So, and some other stuff. You guys will get some content from here as well as members. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right. So let's see what else was going on. Let me go back over here to the comments. But, and also, let's see. Yes, kind of brief talk about scheduling. So this week is the last week of August allocations. So a lot of the plants aren't going to schedule, which is a great way for us to be able to segue and bring people in because I know people are kind of off the side waiting for us here. So there's not a lot of plants that are probably going to schedule this week. Next week is the first week for scheduling for your allocations for September, and that's for November build dates for a lot of those models, including the startup for the Maverick and I believe maybe Bronco Sport, and then also maybe F-150. So those are going to start scheduling soon for the 2025 startup. So that's going to be cool. Let me put this on silent. So that's why this week, not a lot of scheduling going on. There'll probably be some plants, but it's probably going to be mainly stock scheduling because it's whatever they need to fulfill those slots for their production runs at the factories of those different factories. So, so very little scheduling news, but we have some special information we'll get to you guys next week in regards to some special dates for even the 25 Bronco, or the order bank's closing for the 24, I should say, but yeah, don't any information on 25 yet, but that we can know of, we can share. So the edition's closing soon and some of that stuff. We'll talk more about that next week. But yeah, so can't talk any more about that right now. yeah, other than that, let's see other dealer news updates. The Ford Performance Tune came out for the Bronco Raptor and Ranger Raptor. Pretty cool. I don't have the official numbers. I'm bad with remembering numbers. But Auto Authority or Ford Authority and such put those numbers out. But they're pretty like I think performance went up like 100. I think pound-feet of torque or something. We're pretty close to that. I don't remember, but it's pretty cool. And I've actually thought about doing the tune on the Bronco. I've been
Yeah.
people telling me that I need to do that, so maybe we'll get that done. I'm waiting for those Ford Pass points to get up so I can actually afford that. But there you go. Let's see what else. You got anything? What do we normally talk about? I don't have my notes in front of me.
Channels that we partner with or
Oh
that
yeah.
we promote.
Yeah, there's different channels. We got All Train Nation. I don't think they did a live stream this week. You got Bronco Nation's actually here, so it's just pretty cool. So if you're a Bronco owner, go to Bronco Nation, become a member, and some cool stuff. Forums, nice, a lot of good content there. And then Johnny's Car Care Reviews, and then some
Yeah.
others. So RagnarCon, one of our members,
Yes.
has a channel. It does some fun. So there you go. Um, all right, we should do this real quick before we get too far, if I can get to it, because I need to do that. Here, Sarah, you go ahead and do the what's in the cup. What's in Tim's cup? Can you get it there? There you go. Oh no, wrong one.
Oh, there we go.
Go.
Still
All right,
no. There
you
we
get
go.
what's in Tim's cup there. The audience is like, "What are you talking about?" So,
Is
yep.
it that Mountain Dew bottle sitting right there?
Oh, can you see it? I didn't
Ooh,
realize
what's that flavor?
it's infinite swirl,
Ooh, I haven't tried that one yet.
pineapple berry flavor. It says it's pretty good. I've tried the red, white, and blue while I was on this trip. So every time I
Yep.
stopped, I got
We
them
do
out.
not have our wonderful moderator Richview with us tonight.
I don't know.
Um,
I know
he
his
does
friend had
not have.
surgery, and
Yeah,
he
he
said,
does.
"Well,
Yes, but he does not have Wi-Fi signal, so he will not be joining us tonight. So we have Niles to keep the peace tonight.
yep. All right. Let's what's next on the agenda? Yeah, we're not going to talk recalls this week. I don't, like I said, I haven't been. I was out on trail today instead of getting ready for this live stream, so I was enjoying it. So
There's a lot that goes into what you do to prep for this.
yes, and so we'll get that all caught up next week. We'll do any recalls of what happened this week, and being that Labor Day was this week, there's Fords usually closed down for one or multiple days. But anyway, so we'll talk about that next week, and we'll get caught up on
Where
that.
were you today?
We went to Union Park. Is that
Okay.
the trail, right? Union Park, Cross Mountain. That was fun. So there's another one I hadn't done. So it was a blast. I did just post some stuff on Instagram, some photos from up at the top, and maybe and Allie came along with us. She's gonna be on the live stream here in a second. Allie came on, she rode with me. Since Barb's not here yet, she's gonna be coming up later this weekend, and they're gonna be joining us Friday, but Saturday. But so Allie rode with us, and yeah, so we're gonna hit the trails tomorrow as well, and so we kind of had a smaller group. It was really good. It was about 7 Broncos, and we had Sarah. You'll know this. We had Derek Stidham, one of our salespeople, our Bronco salesperson, that was with us, and he took his Bronco up there, and that was really cool. And he does not have a rear locker, and he was able to go up and do most of the trail, so that was really fun. And then he jumped in with us, and then we also had some customers of ours. And I asked them to be on the live stream tonight, and they weren't quite looking brave enough to do that. But first time off roading, and they had a blast, and they went up and did some pretty difficult stuff. So I was pretty proud of them. So, and they're Wild Track Broncos, so
All right.
they had a lot of fun. So you'll know them, Heather and William Cox. So
Yes.
yeah, so good customers of ours, and they were there as well. So anyway, all right, you tell those guys to be quiet in the background. I can hear it. Anyway, all right. Other than that, yeah, we'll talk probably more about that. But let's get some. In fact, let's talk about what we did on the trail. Allie, you want to come in here?
Sure.
I'm gonna scoot over. I'm gonna sit right over there. I don't either. That's what happens when you live stream with me. You never know what's gonna happen. All right. So for those that don't know, Allie's been on our live stream a couple times. You guys should know
Yeah.
Allie. That's her camera. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting.
you can't look at the screen.
Yep. We might need to move the camera.
Right? We'll just hold a sign. Look here.
Do that back.
That'll help on regular nights.
Right?
All right. Anyway, there. See if that works better. But so Allie, you went out with us today. So Allie flew in from Michigan,
I did.
and she's got someone that's loaning her a Bronco. But you
The Bronco
you rode with us.
community is amazing.
Yes.
Someone loaned me their Bronco.
Yep. And it was a lot of fun. So then today, we talked her into going with us.
Yeah.
So our group of Broncos. And what'd you think? First time being in Colorado.
First time being in Colorado. First time wheeling in the mountains. It was pretty incredible.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Brian last year said there's a reason why they call it the Rocky Mountains. So
it is rocky.
It's rocky. And
lots of cows.
Yes, we saw a lot of cows. It was fun. Somebody thought they saw a moose, and they were mistaken. It was a cow.
It was not me.
It was a long ways
it was
away.
Someone else.
Yeah, they were moose staking.
They
Yeah.
were moose staking.
Anyway, but we had a lot of fun, and so.
Yeah, no, today was great. The views were amazing. I loved our group. Everyone gained a ton of confidence.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Yeah.
We went up about 12,000 feet, I think, is what we got up to, and the views up there are incredible. Again, I put a couple on Instagram, and I know Allie's going to post them. So make sure you're following Allie.
And Bronco Driver Magazine.
Yeah, Bronco Driver Magazine. I've been trying to tag them as well.
Yeah.
On things, so we'll get more and more content for you guys of the views and everything. But being here, you can't. The pictures cannot. They don't do it justice.
They don't. Yeah. Even my drone footage, I'm like, it doesn't do half of like what we saw today. Yeah. So if you have a Bronco and you're not familiar with the super celebrations, you have to go to at least one. I'd say. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to hit trails and hit some trails you haven't been on, Colorado's
the place to go.
Yeah, it's fun. So.
This is only like day one, and I'm blown away. So.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go back out tomorrow.
I know.
So, anyway.
It's been a long 4 days.
I know my wife's in there. She's probably jealous right now because she wants to.
She's on. She's listening.
Hi.
I know she wants to be on. So yeah.
I love her.
Anyway, so I didn't damage the Bronco today.
You did not.
But those IAG skid plates did come in handy once.
There's a mark to prove it.
Yeah. It's like, woo, just in time.
So if you guys need some skid plates,
IAG, yep.
Take care of you.
Yep. So, no, they were good. And, yeah. And I have to say this. I got to say, Niles is in here. He's in our aftermarket. And probably wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the our aftermarket department, Lynn and me.
Oh,
they fixed my Bronco, so I won't get into too much of that. But the strut got a little off of from the lower control arm and needed a quick fix, and they had me up and running in an hour. So awesome job for them and fit me in so that I can. And that's the thing what they do. They get people coming through that need repairs. They fit you in.
That's awesome.
And they get them back on the road. But
good customer service.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what else we got going on. Let's see that's today. So yeah, I love the trails. So we had most of the trails we did need, like, I have just a rear locker and I was able to get up there just fine. Like a lot of it, I think a lot of people on some of these trails thinking you need a front locker, you need a sway bar disconnect, you need the whole thing. And
you really don't.
To be honest, I didn't even engage the rear locker until there towards the end.
Yeah, once we're closer to the top.
Yeah. And the rocks started getting a little loose, but that was it. But a lot of fun. And we're going to have more fun, and we'll get some content for you guys as well for that. But, yeah.
What was your favorite part?
I love getting on the trails and figuring out what line I'm going to take and going up the mountain. And then, of course, when you're up there, just the views.
The views awesome. Topped it today. Well, like, I'm used to always driving myself. It's always me and Maya. So the fact that I got to be passenger today,
yeah,
loving it.
It's not, and that's the thing. Barb's driving more and more for us, and being the passenger seat, it's a different. It's fine. I'm able to look around and actually see some of the scenery instead of being focused on the trail and everything. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. So, yeah, and a great community, of course. A lot of them have left for the night. It closes down at 5. Which was like an hour ago. So a lot of them have left and everything. But we do have some people here because we did want to talk tonight on the live. What should we do? Member shout outs?
Yeah, I have some tagged.
let's do some member shout outs, and then we'll bring
Let's
in
see what she wants.
Melissa, and we'll start talking Rebelle Rally.
I got it.
You got it? She's not used to running this. There we go.
All right, we're going to start out with our member for 16 months, MabSim. Are we actually doing this tonight? I came last night and was let down. And yes, let's get rowdy. We have Ford Enthusiast saying evening all. Mike M is here with us. Brandon Jones. And Mike M did said, seems weird meeting you all here on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yep. Niles, our aftermarket specialist, is with us. So if you have any questions pertaining to aftermarket, tag at Niles Gridley, and he will help you. He is also our solo moderator tonight. I'm in there, but he's keeping the peace tonight.
So he's helped me with a lot of stuff on the Bronco, and the suspension that's on it, and some of the other stuff that's on that. Yes, you want to.
Yeah.
Rough country there's nothing wrong with rough country. Let me tell you. So I can tell you that.
I was gonna say your components held up very well.
I'll be
today.
the witness of that. So, but yeah, Niles can help you out with any of that stuff. But if you have any questions,
we have Jocelyn and Bud Guy 8829. Douglas says it's a great day in Virginia. Our Quib is here. Alcione is in here with us. Alcione Ford.
Laura's in here, yeah.
Oh, I think she did text me what time it was starting. It's now.
Please didn't miss it.
We have Geralt. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Rob is apparently 100 feet away from you.
Yes. We saw him here today earlier. He was over at Bronco Nation booth.
Ronald Smith is here. Terry McGee. Mountain Dew Swirl. Happy Wednesday, Tim and Sarah. And we have Databetic. Let's see who else commented while I was going through that. I think that's all I had tagged. So if I missed you, I'm sorry.
And then was Allie at the Stolen Bronco in Colorado? She made it here. I don't know.
No, but the funny thing is, because I don't have my Bronco here, people know I'm here, but they don't know what Bronco I'm in. So it's been a surprise.
I know. I was like, Silver Big Ben. Oh, okay. I'm used to seeing you in that. Anyway, awesome.
Henry's on his way to you.
Yes, he texted me earlier, so Henry's going to be here, and we have Mike Nice. He's actually, you might be able to see him through there. He's one of our customers too. He rode with us today, and his daughter Maya was here. So yeah. So anyway, they're actually, I think they're watching because they just waved after.
They're waving.
They're over there. So
yeah,
I think
Maya's here too.
They had fun. So yeah,
I think
the people that are still there are probably all watching.
Well, we were looking at the weather. She was actually talking about the weather. She said, "Look at tomorrow," and I was like, "Yeah, what's that?" She goes, "Rain all day." And she was like really mad because she wants to go off roading some more. So, but it won't. The rain won't stop us. It just comes over and keeps going on.
I can tell you that those rainstorms, it's usually like a cloud at a time, and they don't last long.
That's kind of how it was today.
Yeah.
I mean, we got one storm. Wasn't even a storm.
We vacationed in Buena Vista, and we stayed at the campsite that Tim's at, and we could see the storms rolling in over those mountains that are actually behind you. We'd see the storm roll in. We're like, okay, pack everything up, sit in the tent. 10 minutes later, it sweeps past, and we're unpacking everything.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
We had a windstorm blow all the tents down today.
Yeah. A lot of people take their tents down, but
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get in. Let's talk Rebelle Rally here. So let's have you switch places. We'll bring in Melissa here, whose Bronco Sport is right behind us. And
now you can see
so
Michael.
we did try to cover some of the Rebelle Rally last year. And we got some things right, so hopefully
you guys did good. I wasn't picking. I just thought it was fun because you're like, I'm not sure how this works. So
you just scoot in a little.
And it is a little. What Allie does?
Here, let me do this.
Oh, I thought it was already set up. Okay.
I think it was set up for 2, right? It's set up for 2.
There we go. All right.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, this year. So I think the good thing is to start is Melissa, tell us, what is the Rebelle Rally?
So this is going to be the 9th year of the Rebelle Rally, and it started as an off-road event for women. It's a competition. It's not a race for speed, but there is time management involved. But what you're doing is map and compass navigation in order to find checkpoints, some of which are visible, some of which are invisible. You just have to use the tools and the data that you have to find these checkpoints, and each one of those has a point value, and your goal is to get as many of those points as possible during the day, and you do that for 8 days.
It's intense.
And you camp in the desert. It's women only. You have a driver and a navigator, and they can switch roles. They don't have to always be the same role. And you take an off-road vehicle. There's 2 classes. There's the 4-wheel drive class, and there's the what they call an X-Cross class, and that's where the Bronco Sport fits in. Is Subaru and other kind of crossovers compete in that class, and that's the class that Ford, since they've introduced the Bronco Sport, has won every year. So Shelby Hall drove it the first year, and then I've been the driver the last 3 years. And I'm super stoked that I'm actually getting a 25 Sasquatch, one of the new Badlands Sasquatches, one of the very first ones, and we're going to be putting that into this year's Rebelle Rally.
I was told that I actually drove the one
You did, yeah. They had them out. They had some units out in Tennessee, and so thanks for putting a couple miles on it, because we need to get in a little bit.
Well, Sarah was with me; she was there.
Yeah, it was the black one. I think is the one they're sending.
So that's awesome. So that was fun, and yeah, it's when I was driving that during that event, I felt like I was in the Bronco.
You felt like it was. Oh, I thought you were going to say it felt like it was going to be a special winning vehicle. I was hoping that was the vibe you were getting.
If I was smarter, I would have thought of that.
I hope so. No pressure. This will be the 5th year for the sport, so I feel it. But I've got a fantastic partner this year, Catherine Reinhardt, and this will be her 3rd time as a navigator. This is my 9th year. There's 9 years of the rally, and this is my 9th year. I've competed the first several years in 4x4 class. I was kind of a Jeep person, and then if people know me, my gateway drug into all things Bronco was actually through the Bronco Sport. I competed in the sport before I ever even drove one of the new Broncos. But we have one of those too.
So you got the Silla 2-door that.
Yeah, we've gone all Bronco, all things
today,
Bronco. Yes.
Yeah. So the other thing I really like about that is like you kind of, in a sense, you're doing overlanding and stuff too, because don't you like go from one, like you have a base camp?
You do, yeah. So the interesting thing about this is people always say, where does it start? Where are you going? Where's the course going to be? And it's not like a traditional like Baja where you can like see a race course. You can go online and figure out where the course is. They don't tell us. They give us almost no information. I mean, literally, they gave us an update on the 1st of September. That it's going to tech is happening. We knew tech was happening at Mammoth Lakes, California, and then they said that the first base camp is about 3 hours and 15 minutes drive from tech. So we still don't know where the first base camp is. Know now too on September 1st that we're going to be finishing in the Johnson Valley area this year. We traditionally have always finished in the sand dunes at Glamis. Not to say we won't still go there, but each day is hidden. So until we get our phones put away, until we get all of our navigation and everything taken care of and put away, we don't find out. We don't get our maps or find out any of the information.
So this is, you have no navigation. What do you have electronics in the vehicle?
So here's one thing that we are allowed to have that actually helps us a lot is we put in these aftermarket kind of odometers, and the odometers and so everything's metric. So we do everything in kilometers, which might sound daunting, but it's actually, if you're doing math and maps, it actually works out. It becomes much easier to use the kilometers, and instead of on your normal odometer where it'll go to like 14.2 kilometers, now you can go to one more decimal, so 0.02. So that can get you in theory within a 10-meter range if it's fully calibrated and accurate. That's the idea, is you're trying to creep up on these checkpoints and get into, especially the black ones. The black checkpoints have no physical marker, so it's kind of a bullseye type of scoring. And the closer you get to the center, it might be like a 25-meter circle. They tell you on each one. And if you signal your tracker inside of that 25-meter circle, you get full points. But if you miss it by 25, you lose a point. Eventually, you get to an outer perimeter that might be 300 meters, 400 meters. If you get outside of that, then you actually get a penalty. It's 10 points penalty. It's considered a wide miss. You haven't gotten near the checkpoint.
Are there some that skip those because they're
Absolutely, yeah. So the interesting thing is that like about 80% of your score, like so green checkpoints are the easiest to find, they're worth the most points too. Blues are the next, they're usually like a blue pool or a small blue flag. Those usually have higher values as well. The blacks are worth usually the least amount, but if you don't go for them, you're not going to win because all those little points. The top competitors usually finish, if you have consider it 100% of the score. Most of the top competitors are finishing with at the end of the 8 days in the low 90%, 91, 92% of all the points possible. These teams are pulling in. So if you don't go for the blacks, which you don't have to, and usually you're doing a numerical order. So you're clicking 1, 2, 3. Sometimes they even have what's called X options. So you might have a more challenging, they'll tell you it's either harder to drive to, more technical driving, or harder to navigate to. And that is part of the strategy. So each day you're on a very time, like your checkpoints open and close. And so you have the strategy of it is, can we get to as many checkpoints as we can? And what's the strategy? If we have to drive further or harder, will that make us in the afternoon miss one of the easier checkpoints? So each team kind of develops a strategy on how they want to play that. And on any given day, it might work out great and you get lucky. And sometimes it's like, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
So do you guys actually have time to plan in the morning?
We do, yeah. So we call it cowbell. Cowbell rings at 5 a.m. And that's when, usually about that time is when you can get your what's called a CP guide. So they hand it out to you in the morning based on your team number, your start order. So the first ones that start off the line, because each day there's a start order, unless we're on a marathon stage, and that's a little bit different. But each day on a start order, usually 1 or 2 minutes apart. And there's usually 3 different score books, because otherwise teams could just follow, like rookie teams could just follow somebody else and get to checkpoints. So there's 3 different score books. So you're never quite sure which team, you might follow somebody and you're going to it's not your checkpoint. So, but yeah, you get it at 5 a.m. That gives your navigator time to start working on the maps. They literally have either a latitude and longitude, which you're using traditional plotter, and you're using a map and the appropriate scales, and very accurately you're making little crosshatches of latitude and longitude, so you end up with a little crosshatch, and that's where you're trying to navigate to. Or you have what's called a heading and a distance. So it might tell you that you need to go 22.4 kilometers at a heading of 155 degrees from this known spot, and they'll plot it that way. And then you get in the car. They usually start, the first off the line is like at 7 a.m. And then there's 65 teams. So if it's a minute apart, the last teams aren't starting until, after 8 o'clock. So, but yeah, you have time in the morning to kind of, the best navigators can get everything plotted and start to create some strategy on how they want to talk with their driver on how they want to work their day.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I hear the people going, "Well, why don't we have a men's race like this?" I don't think two guys could go do this together. I think they'd kill each other.
Well, there is, the thing about killing each other is that there is some intensity at times in the car.
There's gotta be.
Yeah, there is. I mean, your 8 days, you're exhausted. So you're tenting at night. You're setting up your own tent. You don't go someplace and get a lamp set up for you. You are starting at 5 a.m., you leave off the line at 7. Your typical day of competition is 10 to 11 hours. So now you're getting back at another base camp or the same camp, and now you're getting you've got a very short time period to check the car over. The driver needs to make sure the car is fit for the next day. So if they need mechanics, either they can do the mechanical repair, or they get 2 hours a day free without penalties. I mean, a mechanic will help you if you're having an issue with your car. You need to get it fueled. You have to get your camp set up so that you can sleep. You eat, and then you fall into some kind of coma if you're lucky, or some people can't sleep, and you start it again the next day. So it's an endurance event. So it's testing the resilience. And so when you start to get really tired like that is when teams can start having some problems in the car.
Yeah.
And then it's never good.
Yeah, definitely. It's a husband and wife team.
I feel like a lot of divorces would happen.
Hey, there's a lot of desert out there. You could bury a bury a.
Well, and then so you can follow this online.
Yeah.
We watched it last year.
So the Rebelle Rally, rebellerally.com. So it's spelled REBELLE. So it's kind of, we've got it back there too. So you think of it as a rebel and a bell, like a Southern belle. So it's a Rebelle Rally. And if you go to rebellerally.com, you'll see a live link, which it's not live yet, but once we, in October, I think the first day is October 10th, guys, the 9th. The 9th of October is when we'll start. Then they'll start to go live, and there's a couple different things you can do, which is cool. There's trackers on the car. So you can go to another site called YB Races. And if anybody's ever watched, some of the NORA races or Baja where they put trackers on the car so you can see where they are on the desert course, same idea. There's trackers on all of our vehicles, and it's live scoring as well. So we usually have a good idea that we've scored when we click, but it automatically uploads. So you can see where we are on the course. You can see our number of our team, and then you can also see how we're scoring. Then they also do like some live casts during the day where you can kind of, they do some interviews I've never watched it because I've always been doing it.
I've already said, plug it in. I want to do that. I want to interview people.
The
Come on now.
Rebelle Rally. It's getting
Ford,
close now.
we need you to sponsor big time so the Ford video guy can come in there.
Same.
Absolutely. And one of the cool things though is that
I'm a girl, so I should be able to get a media pass.
Yeah, guys do come out, and we have some great guys that support the race, and I shouldn't call it a race, support the competition. But the amount of volunteers that it takes you're going through several public land areas, right? So it's managed public lands in California and Nevada. And so just the amount of work that it takes to make sure we're treading lightly, we're keeping good stewards of our land. And you have these footprints of these base camps where you have 65 teams, so there's 130 people, and there's usually over another 100 that are on the staff of the rally when you count all the mechanics and the scoring teams and the rule officials and the people that set up and break down base camp. So it's a huge operation, and I think they do a pretty good job. But at least the land management people say, yeah, we do a really good job. We learn how to treat tortoises in the desert, like in the sensitive areas, like if we have to move them out of the course, and there's all these things to try to make sure that we're good stewards of the land while still doing this competition.
Do they also make sure that none of your GPSs are working?
Absolutely. So that's what tech inspection is for. So when you come into when we actually do the tech, they will sit in the vehicle and they will say, prove to me that there's no navigation, and you have to show that it's been disabled. And if you can't show that it's been disabled, then they actually will cover your screen with tamper tape and some different things so that you cannot access it. So that's why it's important, because you can lose your whole screen.
So what GoPros, don't those have navigation?
It depends on the GoPro. So there are some GoPros that are fine. There are also some cameras that are fine. If it's some GPS, as long as there's not a way for it to tell you unless you're connected to a device, a lot of those are okay. But the thing is, if you're not sure, you have to put an inquiry on what you want to have, and then they'll tell you whether it's legal or not, or otherwise they might just tell you you can't. Once you get to tech, they'll tell you can't have it, and that goes in prohibited items like our phones. They wrap them up in bubble wrap and tamper tape, and we actually keep them with us in case there's an emergency, in case there's a wreck or an accident, or we need to call 911, and then we can unwrap it for that emergency. But they'll ask us to show that we've not tampered with our phones or done anything to try to cheat. I don't know why somebody would try to cheat, but I guess it's good to keep the. It's good to keep the. So there's other teams here. I'm here with my sport, and my partner's Catherine Reinhardt. As I mentioned, she's in California, but we've been playing Rebelle here. That's kind of the important thing, is to really get some training in, and so when you can simulate what a day is like and go hunt checkpoints, and so we did a day today, and we've got a team here. That's good. Well, I don't know if you want to talk to them.
I'd say let's have them talk about
what they did.
Like
We have a rookie team that's out here too. That's doing some training. So no, it's a great time, and I really enjoy the event. And I've really been very grateful about how interested Ford has been in supporting their silver sponsor and supporting this women's event and putting some fantastic cars in. We were the first team to be able to announce that we're doing our car. There's 4 other teams that'll be announced in the very near future and what cars that they're going to be having out there. So it's going to be really exciting when that all does get announced.
Cool. Sarah, how's
Real
our,
quick,
I know we got
how
some,
long does it take you, Melissa, to recover from the rally?
You'd have to ask my husband, Brian. He says it's longer than I think it is. He says when I come back, I've like lost my mind, and I think I really have. Because if you think about it, you're completely offline and off grid. You have no phone, nothing for 8 days, and then trying to re-immerse yourself back into the world. There is definitely a
I could tell
transitional
you,
period.
6 hours on the trail, it takes me at least an hour just to get back to people.
It's a
Just for one day.
It's
6 hours.
Yeah. It's
I
a
can
little
only
bit
imagine.
different for everybody, but there is definitely a
You gotta
transition.
think about it too, because like you're also disconnected from the world for 8 days.
Yes, yeah.
So like trying to get back to all those messages after you haven't slept, you've been looking at a map in not even the road, you've been looking at the desert. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though.
Any other questions for Melissa before we move on?
That was all I had.
All right. Let's bring their other team.
All right, I'm gonna
I'll let them
talk
introduce
to.
themselves.
Yeah, thanks. I'm grabbing a hoodie really quick too. Yeah, I got you. And we're back to being cold.
All right. So go ahead and tell us your guys' names, how long you've been, how many times you've been in, that kind of stuff, and if you can, tell us what vehicle you're driving.
Of course, we're privateers.
Oh, there you go. That makes it good. Okay. All right.
Hi, I'm Julia. This will be my 3rd time competing. I competed in 2020 and 2022, and I'll let Amanda announce her vehicle.
I'm Amanda. This is my 2nd year. Last year was my rookie year, and we'll be returning in our 2-door 2021 Bronco. His name's War Pony.
Okay, because you were here last year. I remember
was.
we were doing some trails, and you were guys just training with Jackie, right?
That's right.
Okay. So yeah.
And she's having a baby, I think,
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah. So,
And I'm so happy to have found Julia.
Actually, she's born.
Oh, really?
oh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
crazy. Okay. Now people that know Chase and Jackie, they just had their baby. So.
Congrats to them.
Yeah, big congrats.
Yeah, we're excited to be taking War Pony again. He's got 86,000 miles on him.
Wow.
He's in really good working order. He's going to get a new wrap coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sarah was here last year. You probably remember Sarah being here.
I do remember.
Yeah.
Which trail was it?
We did all 3 of the Rocco Nation ones.
Okay.
So we did
Yeah.
10
So I was asking questions about Rebelle after the first day and getting interested in it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I know she'd like to do it. So
I drove.
and you could tell us that probably the next thing is talk to us kind of more about like getting into it in the training.
Sure. Both Julia and I had a similar experience. Like we both went to a training or a class, and we're hooked. This is for us. We want to do it. I met Melissa at King of the Hammers last year, and I took a class there on how to rebel and plotting and mapping. And she introduced me to Tori from the 4 Wheel Parts team, and I just got like firsthand info from her on how awesome it was. I don't know, and serendipity kind of happened. Steve's company, my husband's company at the time, thought it was really cool and just sponsored us our first year. This year we're raising our own funds, and it's super challenging.
So it takes quite a bit of funds, right? I
It's
mean,
$15,000 for just the entry fee, but that doesn't cover everything. So you have to pay for your fuel charges, about $900. The tracker is like $600. If you want to take spare parts, that's $200. And then all of the other things that you don't really think about, like building your truck the way that you want to. We get sponsorship help, of course, but when we're like 3rd tier racers. So the sponsorship is not usually full sponsorship. You may get first like 30, 50% if you're lucky. So we've gotten our truck most of the way there last year through a lot of that, and we've just been putting finishing touches on War Pony. Now, because we are a privateer team, unlike Melissa's team, like we did lose all of our tech. So we didn't have access to our cameras or like our screen at all. We had to pull our sync chip because we didn't have an engineer to program and take that out for us. So this year we got a rear view camera from Wolf Camera that shows front and back, so I at least can have some visibility. I'm pretty happy with that. But there's other things that you can do to kind of work around some of those things. Yeah. The tamper box, we learned a big lesson last year. You have to watch how they're taping it. There's not a lot of that tape, and if you need it retaped, you could be in trouble. We were using pack outs for ours, and there's certain hooks on the back for those pack outs. They taped over them, and so when I was trying to put my tamper box on the truck, I had to move that tape, so I was taking a little bit of a risk. I went and showed them that I had to move it up so I could actually mount it in the truck the way it was supposed to. But everything that we did like that, our rookies were so scared to ask.
Yeah. Oh, great. Now now you talked about some training,
Yes.
and so you have some different training throughout the year.
So my first year, the approach was to try to take as many classes as possible from as many women as possible that have done this for a long time and done really well. So I took training with Melissa. I did training with Nina Barlow. I took 2 of Emily's, Miller, who's the founder of the Rebelle. I took 2 of her classes too. This year, I knew exactly what I needed to focus on to be a better partner. I worked on navigational skills so that I could provide input and just be another second set of eyes. So I worked really hard with Melissa this year on honing that skill. And then I will tell you, Melissa pushed us really hard today. We had a really fun day of training, but like everything was hard. It's exactly what we needed. Like even at our campsite, our power went out. We couldn't make coffee. We barely got our oatmeal. And then we got here and the maps were not standard. We had to create our own scales.
Did you plan all that? Did you have the power go out?
That was me.
Actually, Melissa told us the maps were going to both be 50,000 scale, and they weren't.
Yeah, but then we just reacted on the fly. There's actually a scenario last year in the Rebelle where you could opt to take a different map for more points, and everyone that did it was really, you either laughed or you cried because you got back basically a blank piece of paper with very little writing, and you had to make up your own custom scale. Because of that, we knew exactly what to do today.
I remember them talking about that because I don't know. I think Sarah, you followed a lot of the live streams and such, and they would talk about like what you guys are going to have to do. So
they
it's kind
took
of fun.
a lot of video of the team reactions when we played that map, and they played it at the gala. It was hilarious. A lot of us were like, "Oh." Regrets.
And so you're in Bronco.
We're in a 2-door 2021 Badlands with Sasquatch. We've got some upgraded suspension, upper and lower control arms. I really feel like War Pony is like the most off-road capable I've ever driven until I got the 2024 Ranger Raptor. That's a blast to drive.
That was on the trail with us today, I think.
Yeah, my husband was driving it.
And it went right up. It did. Like, I mean, I know the Ranger Raptor is pretty common, but it's not just a desert runner.
The first weekend we got that, I took it crawling, and you would not believe the people's reaction on it. They're like, "You're taking that?" I'm like, "Absolutely. This is what we bought it for, and we love rock crawling. It is very nimble, very capable on rock trails. It's super impressive." And then we took it to the Raptor Run in Blackville, Texas, and we covered like 60 times in 2 days. We had a blast. We tore up some tires. We had a really good time doing it.
All right, so we actually had a question earlier. The wheels are those the factory wheels? Because they look like a Bronco Sasquatch wheel.
We
and
did.
I can't
so
remember.
In order, so our friend that's a mechanic for Ford at the Arizona Proving Grounds told me immediately, he's like, you can put those Bronco wheels on there and get 35s up underneath it for equipped storage collars. It's exactly. RPG are good friends of ours and sponsors, so we put some merge collars on there, and then we put the 35s up underneath it. We put the stores out so it wouldn't rub, but it rides great. I love it. I will say I was also really happy with the 33. I was surprised at how tall it set with the 33s. I've been so used to 35s. I've been happy with the 33s. It looks really good for 35s.
What were you saying, Sarah?
If we can talk just a little bit louder, that wind is getting loud.
Oh, is it? Okay.
We'll speak up.
All right. Okay.
I can hear most of it. but
All right, no
it
problem.
dips in and out.
Well, and our microphone, I can actually is kind of here, so maybe I should just turn it. So you probably could hear me fine. But
Yeah.
all right, so we're kind of working off of a camera on there, but the microphone on the computer. So, so all right. Let's see what else. We talked about training and such. And now you've done it a couple years now.
Yeah, this will be my 3rd year.
And so you've had other partners, of course, the
Yep.
other years.
Yep.
And so how is that working with different partners?
It's great. So the first 2 times that I did it with the same partner, and then doing it now with Amanda. I think it's really great because you really get to learn from each other. So being able to compete with multiple people, I think it's just a great experience to work with different personalities, and to just be able to learn new things from new people is a really wonderful thing. And just to meet new people is really great. I'm super excited to be competing this year with Amanda. We get along great. We have really similar goals. We both really want to do our best, and we're in it to win it. So
I think it's super. That's the part right there. Like finding like your match on competitiveness, like your will to win. It's not as easy as you would think. But I think we're pretty evenly yoked. We both are on that same level, and that's where like I don't know. It just feels different. There's like magic there, even though you face adversity. Like you just push through. That's what you do. It's just a different mindset.
Yeah. All right. And what vehicles have you driven on the other one?
The first year that I did it, I was in a Land Rover, and then the second time that I competed, I was in a G-Wagon.
All right. So now you're going to be in a good vehicle. Then.
Yeah, that's right.
G-Wagon.
A little bit more road noise, probably than a G-Wagon.
We'll be good. We'll have to revisit that and see how you like the. You've been actually training in the Bronco, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, which has been great. I love learning about cars. I actually drive an 05 Toyota Camry at home, so I'm not. I don't know a ton about cars, so doing the Rebelle has really taught me a ton.
Yeah.
So you're the navigator and you're the
I'm
driver?
the driver. We were actually, I was just telling her today the difference between like a Jeep and a Bronco and the independent front suspension. So it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really fun to go out there in the Bronco and show them the trail turn assist and watch their jaws drop.
Or that when you're under load already,
You
you
hit
can
a
do the
button.
swipe bar disconnect. You don't have to be on
They're
flat
like,
ground,
what
right?
did you just do?
Yeah. Because Jeeps, I don't know, maybe they have it now. I don't know. I haven't followed it,
Did
but
the 4xEs not have that button now? Okay.
They have a disconnect, but not under load.
Right.
yeah, they have to be. Yeah. Because you don't know you're going to need it. Sometimes you're like, oh, no, I need it. It's too
We
late.
used it a lot today on some bumpy roads. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that. But anyway, we'll move on. All right. So I think that's it. Is there anything else?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
We're
I
Team
appreciate it.
189, Fortune and Glory. Follow us.
Yeah, please follow us.
Yep. And are you 200
Team
this
200.
year?
Yeah.
So there you go. So cool,
Thank you
cool.
guys
Well,
so
thank
much.
you. Okay. Any questions, Sarah? I guess before they left you to ask.
They're about Super Celebration.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
So
do that.
first off,
Allie. Maybe
I'll go look
she
for.
yeah, Allie maybe can help that because she's been doing a lot more with the Bronco driver and everything and helping with that. So I don't know if the mic's helping if I move this closer or not, but
it did. It helped a little bit.
all right, yeah, because that's when I realized that. So all right, cool.
I wanted to shout
Go ahead.
Melissa. I recognize her hat.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I know where you got that. All right, well let's go ahead and I'll answer some questions because I'm in the 5
Okay.
now.
So the first one's from Mike M. I don't have one, but do Bronco Sports also take part in Bronco Super Celebration?
Yes, there was some here earlier. Sometimes it just depends on which location. So that's the thing about what I like about these is that it seems like every location's a little different. Like Tennessee, there's so many like Bronco Sports there and Broncos, and so it really like it's a little different. Like what you're doing. There's a lot of destination drives and some other stuff. It's more about the show field and everything. A lot more vendors. So a lot of times we see a lot more Bronco Sports at that one, and then.
I was going to say, talking about locations, what other locations besides Colorado and Tennessee?
Okay, so originally Bronco Supercell didn't start from the 6th gen Bronco. A lot of people thought that's where it started, but Tom has been running these for years with the old first Gen 1 through Gen 5s. They've been meeting with small numbers for, I don't know how long it goes back, but it goes like a long time. And so it's been going along. So it wasn't about 6th gen. So when 6th gen came in, that's where it kind of like it kind of expanded because we had more Broncos that came for the newer Broncos.
The community expanded.
So Tennessee was where it's launched and started. That was for a long time it's been called Supercell East. Now they're really getting them to the different states because now they I think the second one they started was West, which was this Colorado one. So Supercell West, and like this one here is more about getting on the trails or some of the destination drives, and so it's like when you come here, because I've been to the Tennessee one, I've been to Wisconsin, I've been to this one, and when you come to this one, it's like by about 9:30 it's pretty empty because everybody's out on drives. So it's all about going out, either getting on the trails and being able to use something like, for me, we don't have a lot in Kansas, so and that kind of thing, or going on a destination drive. Tennessee, there's a lot more going on at the show and everything.
Would
and
you
then
say then Wisconsin's more of like a community get together? We aren't really driving; we're just getting together.
Yeah. Wisconsin was at the Wisconsin Dells. So that was a lot of fun, kind of more of a touristy, but there's some destination drives. And I think the year I did it, there was one off-road drive, and I didn't do it this year. And actually Laura, I might have gone this year. She might be in the chat. She might be able to tell, but they have water parks. It's every single one's a little different. They also have one in Nevada. I think that's coming up in like a month or so. And so
that'd be fun to go to.
Carson, Nevada. Carson, Nevada, I think, and I don't know what it's like, but I assume being out in Nevada, there's going to be a lot of fun, getting out in the desert and stuff.
Yeah. Sport enthusiasts said that they wish there was one near the Bronco Off Rodeo location in New Hampshire.
Wish there was one.
Supercell.
Okay, a Supercell. Yeah, I mean, I think they talked about possibly adding another one. So, because they realized they kind of maybe need one up northeast, but
well, I mean, there are the mountainous region up there.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's about the vendors come, but like there's not as many vendors here as Tennessee, and but it's getting the community, and Bronco Nation usually goes to these. I don't think they hit all of them. I don't think they're at Wisconsin. Tennessee, they're here at Colorado, and so they usually drive some. You back?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Tom. Speak up. We have questions for you.
No questions. The answer is 6.
That might be the right answer. So this is Tom. Tom, you're the leader of this madness, right? And
yeah, I'm the silly one that started this. The silly one.
That's our camera. This is just what
there's the camera.
That's the camera, but this is our mic. So
okay, photobomb the camera.
This is not like
I can sit back and
fancy.
relax.
Yes. So when did this? Because a lot of people, I think, like some of our people, think that this started from the 6th gen Bronco, but you've been doing this for a long time.
We actually started this in 2006. So there's the answer.
2006. See,
at the 40th anniversary in Tennessee, and it started as kind of at the Ford Super Nationals. They said, "Can you get about 20 Broncos out to be the marquee for the year, being it's the 40th anniversary of the Bronco?" And I said, "I'll bet you I can get 30." So we put it in the magazine. We opened the gate at 7:00, and there was 200 Broncos lined up. It was like I had 3 trophies for 200 Broncos.
Oh my gosh!
So they said, "I think this is a standalone event. You need to, when you have more Broncos than you do F-100 trucks, you need to do a standalone event." So the next year we started our Bronco Super Celebration. He told us to pick a name like it was a Super National. So we said, it's a Super Celebration, the 40th anniversary. So it actually started in 2006 in Tennessee.
And then we, of course, the locations, we were talking about that, Colorado here.
Yeah. And this one started in 2020, 5 years ago. And Ford introduced the 2-door here. It was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced, in that we flew into Denver. It was 99 degrees. We drove down here on Monday. We were setting everything up Tuesday afternoon. It came clouds, 15 inches of snow. So Wednesday morning, Ford couldn't pay for pictures like that. When they introduced the 2-door at 8:00, they had all this snow setting on the mountain backdrop. And then we had to put Supercell in Tennessee till October. So they held off and introduced the 4-door in October at Tennessee.
There you go. Well, that's pretty awesome. And then there are also Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Dells, and each one has its own personality. Wisconsin Dells is more family. We rent the water park Friday night, the indoor water park. So, it's a lot of fun. The little kids drag me down and race me down the big inner tubes. But, we do have an off-road park there. So we do off-roading, but some of the drives are more scenic, naturey, flat, not as adventurous. In Nevada, it has a combination of Tennessee and Colorado. You have a lot of drives that you can take to like Virginia City for tourism, but then they have the off-road drives that can come around the backside of Virginia City. Part of our permit with the city of Carson City, they own their own off-road park, Prison Hill. So Wild Horses, they go out and lead 2 days of events at the off-road park for mild, moderate, and extreme off-roaders. So it kind of gives it a combination of, and of course, Tennessee, if you've ever been there, we say it's the Blue Man Group. I went to the Blue Man Group, had the best time. People go, what was it about? I don't know. People come to the Supercell in Tennessee and they go, well, what was it? It was Broncos. It was Bronco. I can't explain it, but it's just, a fun time.
It's a big variety of everything, It's a big community.
It's community, it's trail drives.
And it's not about it's what people say is it's not about the Bronco, it's more about the people. The Bronco is what is the icebreaker and the camaraderie between common interests.
Yeah.
But you're from Nebraska, Kansas. I knew it was one of those twisters. I saw them. So the wins we had today were nothing, right?
No.
So I lost my train of thought. You got me there, Tim.
I've been to Colorado.
The community.
We talked about the great community, but it's all about people because you meet people from all over the country. We have a guy that drove down from Alaska, drove his early Bronco from Wasalla, Alaska to come down here and just to meet the people. Hawaii, I have friends all over that I met just wheeling Broncos, getting dirty, getting muddy, getting stuck, So it's just a great, and I got to tell you, Bronco people are classy people. They are courteous, respectful, some of the things that we could use more of.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I like coming to all these Bronco events, whether it be Supercell or, when Bronco Nation puts on some events and different things. So it's just been
there's not just our events, and we urge people to get to their local clubs. You're seeing a lot more of the local clubs doing smaller events, daily lives, and that's what it's all about: getting out there and getting active with your Bronco. This is not a diaper wiper. The Bronco events are not diaper wipers. You don't. Somebody breathe on it, you get up and wipe it with a diaper. These guys are, they go out, oh, it's muddy, it's dirty. We use them, we ride them. The Iron Horses.
Yeah. We've seen some of the older Broncos out on the trails,
we could tell stories of getting them up 13,000 feet with their carburetors. It's just, but they're having fun doing it. And the nice thing is when you're wheeling with a group, you're not going to be stranded.
Yeah.
You're not going to have some guy in a Volkswagen behind you blowing your horn because you're sputtering. You're going to have a group of people that are going to help you, not leave you out there, and make sure you're going to rescue.
It's a blast. It's fun, and this is my fifth one coming too, so I'm enjoying it.
Fifth one. What are the other four, Tim?
So I've been to the Colorado one twice, Tennessee twice, I went to Wisconsin, not this year, but last year.
So did you go to the water park? Did we get you in the water park on Friday night?
We didn't go and do the water park.
Oh.
You guys did a cruise, a dinner cruise.
Oh, you did the dinner cruise.
Yeah.
This year, the biggest hit at Wisconsin is we did the ghost boat tour.
Oh.
That was a big hit. We didn't do the dinner cruise. There was more of a younger, the sixth gen seems to be younger, like Tim, 20, 30 years old. And they did the ghost boat tour. And I you don't know what you're to expect. I mean, they came back. They thought it's actually, they take you to an island and drop you off. You get off the boat and it's live actors, and you're getting scared. And then the boat picks you up and scares you going back. And so it was the hit of the Wisconsin this year. Was the ghost boat tour was the big hit.
Wow. Well.
So I want to do that next year. So if you don't go to Wisconsin, I want to take your Bronco and go.
There you go.
Yeah, this year I didn't go, but instead we actually came up here
That's good.
And we wheeled up here, my wife
Well,
and I.
you know, Colorado wheeling is on a lot of people's bucket list. You really can't find better terrain. And with Buena Vista being right in the center of it, I mean, you can get mild trails, you can get wild trails, you can get scenic routes. You know, one of the easiest rides out here, Guanella Pass, is you go down 285. You'll see this little inconspicuous sign. It's concrete that takes you over into Georgetown. And the ladies, there was 5 of them that drove it today. They come back with pictures of big moose. You know, they had the greatest time, and you know they didn't even get their Broncos dirty. So,
Yeah.
You can go from anywhere you want, from mild to wild.
Yeah.
And within, you know, we had a few groups out there 6 and 7 hours today, but
We were out there 6.
which one did you do?
We went on our own.
Okay.
We had a group of about 7 of us.
Where'd you go?
We went to up to Cross Mountain.
Cross Mountain.
Through Union Park, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so you know, some drives out here can take some time.
Yeah.
And you had a small group. You know, they took 2 groups of 12 up Hancock, and then they decided to go on further because it was open. They ended up, you know, taking 6-7 hours.
Well, it's an hour and a half just to get around to like Tin Cup. So and then
Up
you know if you
Cottonwood
go the other way, then you take to get down, then you're over there, and then you got to get back. So
Well,
it's a big round
what's crazy
trip.
is if you look, you got 20 Broncos getting ready to do the night drive. They're going to go into the ghost town, and then they're going to take the rock climb up to Tin Cup.
And they're gonna turn around and come back. Or?
Yeah, they're just going to go to the plateau and come back. They're not going to go all the way over Tin Cup and Round Cotton.
Yeah.
So
I think
you know, they have to come back through the ghost town at night.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
that could be we could hear stories tomorrow.
yeah.
You never know.
Actually, I watched the documentary on YouTube about that.
I always tell people there really is a ghost in St. Elmo. I mean, every time I've been out there, I've seen it.
It's not the haunted chipmunk.
No, if there's one of the windows up there has a little ghost in it, and it's like, oh, I saw it.
Awesome. So how many? I was curious. People asked me today about how many Broncos did we. I mean, Tennessee's. I know the one year was like over 1,100. How many?
Yeah, it's well over that now. I mean, you can't even keep up with it. And what people don't realize in Tennessee is, and here, as they'll see Saturday with Ford unveiling the Bronco Sport, you know, Sasquatch, it's the walk-up crowd. You know, the guys that come with their Broncos that park in the visitor parking lot, they come in, they visit the vendors, see what they want to do to their Bronco, you know, aftermarket parts. The people that are here, we have about 350 that are, we call it not a Bronco show, it's a Bronco experience. They'll come in and do the Bronco experience, but there's so many more that come in and visit, tour. You know, if you watch all day the visitor parking lot with people with their new Broncos, had a guy with a 5th gen Bronco pulling out there and just want to come look around and see what's going on. So, it's really hard to keep up with numbers in Tennessee. It's you know, it's 5 days of visitors, Bronco participants, and
so you
just cut out. All right, guys, I'm here. What do I talk about? Let's see. See if that gets his attention. We're still live. What's in Sarah's cup? My cup has water. I did have a Taco Bell limonada. We'll see if we aren't done yet, so hold on.
yeah, I stop there. When I drive from Tennessee here, sometimes I stop in Salina.
There you are.
I like I'm
getting signal.
hold on. There. Okay.
We're back.
So I had to pull out the phone. We lost our internet there on the computer. So so Bronco Driver Magazine on Facebook and Instagram, and so tell me how that, because you have the magazine and then you did the Supercell. So they reached out to you.
Yeah, we did the magazine since 2002. We actually did a few events before it was a Supercell. We did free for all. So we did off-roading events before, but it kind of transposed into a bigger event. Off-roading was slowly getting, when the value of the Broncos started going up, people were less apt to tear up their Bronco. So, there was more street cruises. That's kind of Supercell transformed into a combination of both, including the street cruisers and the off-roads. But
and you still write articles though for the magazine and stuff too?
We do everything. We,
busy.
Yeah, we only put it out since COVID. We had to cut back. We were 6 times a year. Now it's 4 times a year. I don't know if you saw our current issue with the kids magazine.
I haven't seen it.
I got some down there. It's got adult humor and adult fun in there too. So, but that's the 3rd time we've done a kids magazine. We try to do, extras.
Yeah.
We've done trading cards for Broncos over the years, but the magazine's, kind of taken on a life of its own. We're slowly transferring more into the social media. When you're old, you don't understand the new technology until they beat it into your head. So, we're getting more in the digital age, the social media age, and the live events.
Yeah. So I know Allie she was helping out today.
Yeah, Allie's.
And if you see my Bronco in there a couple of times, don't worry about it.
The promo. Tim's Bronco. This is
called.
We'll have a little arrow. Tim's Bronco. Is that the one upside down? Yeah, that's the one upside down.
It's called cross promoting.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
You probably have things to do. Shut this thing down and kick people out.
Well, getting the night ride out. Hopefully, they all get back in one piece before midnight.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom. All right.
Take care.
Okay. You know what? That's pretty much. Sarah, do you have questions?
No.
No. No questions? What?
No.
Our Q&A usually is like 30 minutes long. All right.
Yeah, but we don't have regular questions tonight.
Yeah. All right. You know what I thought we could do? I got some of the Broncos here. I thought we'd walk a little bit in here, and then we could kind of wrap it up. If that's good, maybe people might have questions. So let me try and get the big camera figured out how to turn it around. You guys can hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. You're louder on this one.
Yeah, well, my microphone's right in front of my face, so it helps. All right, we're going to...
Look at that pretty, that very pretty scene.
By the way, you were here last year, and so last year, they didn't do the night rides. They got 2 night rides this year.
Ooh.
It's kind of cool. So they're doing the 10 Cup, and then tomorrow night they're doing 4 mile area.
Yeah.
So I'm tempted to do that because I got a feeling like it could be a really nice sunset.
Yep.
That's Brian's horse going off there. So anyway, there are a few vendors here. Of course, they're all wrapped up for the night that are here on the rodeo, on the grounds. They do at the rodeo grounds here. But we do have some Broncos left and everything. And they got night crews, I think, that just left. But not it's many vendors. Tennessee's more about the vendors. But so here's Melissa's Bronco Sport. And I think she said earlier, what was it, 22 Bronco Sport? Anyway, and that's actually Sniper Orange, by the way, underneath that wrap. They got a full wrap on it. But they, when I'm talking about that one, they have to load everything on that. So when they said they do tents, everything else, they have to put all their gear on this, including any spare tires. They got to figure out, load them up there if they need to or whatever. So anyway, my Bronco over there, took it out off-roading today. It's a little dirty. But
that's what it's there for.
That's right. And then this is one of Allie's. Actually, this is a Bronco she's borrowing. It's a Big Ben, right? It's Sasquatch though. There you go. And then we got some others here. Here's the Bronco they're talking about. Sarah, you remember this one? War Pony, right? Or War Horse. Anyway, so that's theirs Bronco that they ran last year. Then they're gonna do a different wrap, they said, this year and do some other things. So that's their Bronco. And again, they're sometimes finishing up late at night. So having lights is sometimes kind of convenient. Definitely traction boards. So they got to make sure they have traction boards on and everything else. But and then this is the Bronco Raptor that they took out today with us, and you can see they got those are the Bronco wheels. So and there's some different. I don't know if if they're the Bronco ones or not, but they got 35s on there. So they come standard with the 33s on the Ranger Raptor, but they're able to put some 35s in there, and
Yeah.
man, it really stood up good. All right, going over here, Bronco Nation. We got a lot of wind. Sorry, that
So
sounds
do you
loud.
think Sasquatch is more important than lockers?
Huh?
Do you think Sasquatch is more important than lockers?
Okay, so Sasquatch, like that Sasquatch package, the big thing on that is you do get, beadlock capable wheels. Now, like these, we say beadlock capable wheels. Those rings, technically on the road you cannot move them out. You can't do something. So that's just a beauty ring that looks nice. Technically, if you want off-roading, you could take that ring off and put the beadlock ring on there, but you can only do that on off-road. So it's not allowed for on-road at most state laws. So this is more about the 35-inch tires and everything. But the Sasquatch package to me is more than just a wheel and tire, because I could take mine and put that wheel and tire on it. The difference is you get a standard front and rear locker, and you get a different gear ratio for off-roading capability. You get the 4.7. That's probably the big deal about the Sasquatch package.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you this. Today, what we did some pretty hard stuff, and I've done some hard stuff at Hancock. We did hard stuff when we were in Moab with just a rear locker. I don't think you have to have a front locker to do 90% of the trails. I mean, if you're going to do some really radical, hard stuff, then maybe you do need that front locker. I don't have a sway bar disconnect on mine, and I don't feel like it's something that I have to have. Actually, I was talking about that today. I was like, well, you know what? Not having a sway bar disconnect makes my ride more fun, because that's where you get the wheel lift. Anyway, we got Bronco Nation does have Bronco Nation, Bronco Off Rodeo. They're just pretty much the same company, but they're here. Their trail guides are here doing some drives, and this is one of the Broncos that they brought, two-door Heritage Edition, and that's the Azure Gray.
That's
so
pretty.
Yeah, it is. So
I think I have a new favorite.
That's here. We do have the Bronco 2025 Bronco Sports there. That looked familiar. That's the blue one that we did the walk around on at our event a couple weeks ago. That is here. We've been talking about it a lot with, Melissa. She's going to be driving one of these and talking about the upgraded suspension and some things she's really excited about doing Rebelle and everything. She's excited about the front skid plates and the approach angle here that's much better. She's excited about some of that stuff, and just some of the capabilities this has. I mean, the cameras, because they can still use their cameras as long as they're not tied in the navigation. And this camera here allows you to be able to see right down to the wheel on the trail, which is kind of nice. We actually didn't try that out, sir, when we went out, but some pretty cool things. Here's they had it unlocked earlier. Yeah, there it is. So this is, if you get the Sasquatch package on the Badlands, this is what that interior kind of looks like. And it's leather. So, well, ActiveX right here, there, and then up here you have cloth with that on there. So anyway, but that's kind of what that looks like. But yeah,
that's like a lime, isn't it?
It's I can't remember what they called it, orchid lime or something like that. Anyway, but yeah, we Allie being a dealer as well as ourselves, and then you have Melissa that's running these on the trails all the time. We had fun chatting and talking about things that we liked and didn't like, or we'd like to see, and things like that on the Bronco Sport. So it was fun, and you're getting to the point, and I talked about this too. They asked how I thought when it drove, and I don't know about you, but I almost felt like I was in a Bronco. Actually, we did mention that early in the live stream, but it's very capable. Anyway, got some other people that are still here. Actually, is that Henry's? No, that's not his. For a second, I thought that was Henry's over there. I know he's on his way, but
Henry was here about 1. They left about 2.
I think right before the live stream, he was crossing the border. So
yeah.
Anyway, several old Broncos that are here. You can see some of those that are here. We'll do some videos later for you guys. I will probably do some stuff and some other videos.
So the orange color on Bronco is cyber orange. Like
yes, What did I say?
Well, he thought you said sniper, and it's cyber.
Oh, I sorry. I thought I said. Yeah, yeah.
Right. He's just making sure because the one distorted it.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Did you have anything else? I know this is kind of a different live stream we normally do, but I think it was very educational and different thing. And we'll try to cover some more of the Rebelle Rally when it happens, and you'll be able to go online and watch it yourself and follow along. And I had a lot of fun following along. Last year was the first year, and kind of following along with it. And so I had a lot of fun last year with that. And so we'll do more of that this year because it is an 8-day event. So we'll be able to talk maybe pre-Rebelle, maybe during the Rebelle, and maybe we'll talk a wrap up of Rebelle. So we'll try to cover at least a couple times talking about the Rebelle Rally. So
after a few weeks, she might come and talk about what this year was like.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she did. She did say that. So anyway, all right. Well, it's starting to rain here.
Oh.
But it'll probably be gone in 5 minutes. But if there's no other questions, yeah.
I don't have any.
All right. Well, you know the slide to hit to end this?
I think so.
Think you can do it? You think? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, let's see. How do we end this? Everybody, hope you guys are having a great week, and hope you continue having a great week, and we'll get more footage from you here. And until the next time we see you, stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourself.
See you guys. Take us out.